Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about advanced background removal. So the best way to look at advanced background is our new generation of background removal that relies more on AI image processing than what our standard background removal is. Um, the best place that I can sort of show you a list of the difference before we dive deep into what are the actual differences is probably our pricing. So let's get to there. So while advanced background removal is not available on all verticals, this video is more focused on cars. But as we train more models, it probably becomes more available in other verticals. You could check on the pricing if you want to sort of upsell this to a customer or let them choose it themselves. You really want to check at the time that you guys need that. So at the time of recording this video, I believe we just have it for cars and partial trucks for overall photos and similar to that. So with that said, let's look into here. So if you roll over in this eye in our pricing, it just talks about the differences between custom background. So the first one is that you can have different background for different car views. You can have different background for thumbnails, and a different background for spin, and a different background for gallery photos. We're using Gen AI for the floors and shadows and reflection, which basically results more realistic view, and AI-powered relighting and color adjustments that comes with the advanced background removal, which basically helps the car fits better with the background. Sometimes when they do the photography, for example, a white car in a shadow may look sort of a bluish color, like a very light blue, instead of an actual white because the way the camera works or their phone worked. And the background is more warmish interior color, and that doesn't look good. So the AI detects that and sort of recolors it, and these takes more processing, more energy, more costs for our cloud storage and everything, thus costs more for our customers. So now let's go back and look at the features. So the first thing on advanced background, as we said, you could choose a different thumbnail background. So you could use a full image or full white or half blur. It means, the floor is sort of sharper, but then towards the back it gets darker and so on and so forth. The other advantage is that, as you can see, instead of one background, now we have three backgrounds. So let's say if the car is positioned in, let's say you're looking at it as a 3/4 back, it automatically detects which one of these backgrounds makes more sense, it looks better, and then it automatically uses that, which eventually helps to make more realistic, where the standard background just have one background. So you kind of typically have a center image, the one where we call left perspective, or which is on the left, and the perspective of the wall moves towards left, and then the right perspective. So you have multiple options for the middle one. You could actually, three options for the middle one. You could upload an image. You could capture through app. So if somebody wants their exterior of dealership, as an example, to be their background, we have a guided photography section for the back, which we're going to very quickly jump in there to show you guys that. And then we'll come back to continue because this part is very important to understand so you know how the whole system will work. So when you open the app on the right side up here, you click on this, and then you click on the capture background, and then here shows you the background. And if you want to add one here in the middle lower click, it's outdoor, indoor, you click the one you want to use, let's say outdoor in this case, and then you could choose between these three, right? Left perspective, no perspective or center, and then right perspective. So let's say if you're doing a outdoor with the main dealership wall, you want to capture three. One, you're looking straight at the wall. One is sort of towards a left perspective, and then there's another one that is towards the right perspective, right? So this would be like these four, and then we're going to use each one relative. So the center one, for example, is this. Obviously, we just in the office recording this, so we're putting it towards the wall, but kind of get the idea. Here, you could actually zoom in and out, and then you could just capture or go back on here. So you could sort of zoom in and out. You could look at it, confirm it, retake it, cancel it. And this would be a probably a good sample to show you guys how this whole thing would work. For example, this is sort of a left perspective of a capture, and this is a sort of a right perspective of a capture, and this is a no perspective for an exterior. And the same thing would go for an interior. Once we go back inside and see some of the template ones we have, you kind of understand what this is. So now that this is out of the way, and this is really all the capture, I'm going to show you where and how you guys are going to be able to see these and sort of upload them. But for now, let's go back to our main video. Okay, now that we're back, so we want to see where you would recall those images that we sort of show you how to capture. So here you have to go to add capture. So if you have done any captures in app, you could upload it from here to these image, and the same thing would go later on for other images. But let's just very quickly just open one of them. So I do app capture, and then this is going to bring all the right perspective that you capture. So you could just do multiple interior, exterior, and then see what it is, and you guys can just select it from here. Once you select it, it will ask you, was it an indoor and outdoor? And then once you select that, it will take you a template. It will sort of does an overlay because it wants you to make sure that they overlay and they work properly. Yeah, so it overlays the image and lets you see make the image bigger or smaller. Obviously, you want it to occupy the whole thing. So this line, what is important is that you see this line where it says exterior facade. If there is any sidewalk, anything like parking, curbs, stuff like that. Like, so you want the whole thing be clear as if a tire could go there, right? If that makes sense. And that goes here. This shows if you have a one-story building. So this is assuming it's a one-story building. So that means that if it's a 2-3 story building, like this could go like way off off the sky, right? Basically. So this is assuming that this is about 4 meters or about 12 feet. So it depends on what that wall is. You could estimate it. So this would make sense for this. So about like 4 meter, 5 meter walls. If it is basically further back, then if this is something that is really back, like that wall is really back, now this falls into the category of knowing a little bit of perspective. But as you can see, like this would go back, and then here you could really adjust it a little bit, turn it left, right. Yeah, if you need to adjust that, and that's it. Once you're done, you could just click next, right? So this is if you want to do the apps. The same thing would go if you want to upload. So if I want to do, let's say, upload image, I'll just click upload image, indoor, outdoor. I'll go literally through the same process, and it's the same thing with these. So the way with it sometimes, for whatever reason, the customer just wants one image, and you want to copy the same thing left and right, and you could do that, no problem. So you could have a center image and then copy it to the left and copy it to the right. You can't, let's say, upload a left and copy it to center, because the center is the primary one, the main one that works with every angle. And these are sort of, if you want to take it like ultra step, make it better, which is originally why a customer would even purchase advanced background, because they want to take that to the next level. So you could basically upload that and then just say copy from center. It's going to copy from center. It's going to copy. Let's just do that, like copy from center, right? It's going to just copy that. Nothing magical, nothing fancy. The other option is that you could choose from the gallery. So if you have a lazy customer or a customer that doesn't really have a nice building, right? You could tell them, hey, we could help you choose from the templates. If you look, these advanced templates are more realistic. They also have a set. They have a set of like right perspective, left perspective, and center. And we have an indoor version and we have an outdoor version that you can choose from. So you could just do outdoor and look at the outdoor ones. We have 3 outdoors, and then the rest are indoors. So you could choose from there. But I believe you get the idea. And the other alternative you could do is that, let's say, if I want this, but I want it branded, I want my brand to be on the wall. So you could basically download them from here, send it to the technical team, sorry, to the graphic design team, and the graphic design team are going to add the logo to this and this, but they have to do it because you wanted a little bit more sort of a perspective look, right? So this has to be made in perspective. So it's not something you just put the logo there, right? And it needs to get a little bit transparent, give a feeling that is actual mark on the wall. So once they finish that work, they could send you back, and technically you're going to use upload, even though that it was originally from our gallery images. Once you have those images back from graphic design, you kind of have to upload it from the custom as a custom image, right? Because it's not our default image anymore. Now it's a custom image now that you added the logo. It's a cool feature that you could do. Let me see if I can show you a sample of that done. Okay, guys, so this is the actual sample. So it was like downloaded, right? This is one of our template backgrounds, and then the logo was put in, right? And then it was back uploaded back. And then if I want to show you some of the like advanced ones, see this automatically detects and just put that and does the reflection. So the reflection is AI generated. You can see more photorealistic. These logos needs to send to our technical team. So you see like the way this one is in perspective, the way let's say this one is in perspective, right? That makes sense. And then the one that let's say the front view is. So this becomes important that you guys download it, send it to graphic design. What I really want you to see, like this is a combination of dynamic badge. So we have a video on how to do dynamic badge. This is a dynamic badge. This is the actual part of the background. And then this is a footer. This is a footer that the team designed and then uploaded, right? We have a video for header footer, we have a video and dynamic badge, and then this one, which is for the background removal advanced you guys are watching. So let's continue. So that's basically about it. And then the rest of the video is almost similar because when you come here, by default is high point, unless I don't know if you've seen some people like do the capture for sport cars. Let me actually discuss this whole low point and high point here for you. See, a typical car, you hold the lens, you hold the phone around, let's say, your shoulder, right? If you watch any of our other tutorial videos about the captures, that's the instruction we give. So that's kind of high point because the camera is almost your chin height, right? Your shoulder height, around this height. But then many sport cars, this is a typical capture that happens. It happens a lot with sport cars, sometimes with like pickup trucks and things like that as well, because you want to sort of show a grander vision. So if you notice when you do a low point, what we call them, the tires, the camera is almost at the height of tire. Like it's not at this height, it's almost at this height, and the lens is very much close to the floor, right? So that impacts a lot of the stuff, and this becomes a low point photography. So you do it if a customer is focused on sport cars or for whatever reason they want to do a low point photography. Majority of our customers, majority, I would say 99.9% of our customers, they do high point photography, and that's why the default is high point photography. And most likely you want to just keep it that way unless a customer specifically asks or you realize what I just explained to you. And then full image, the same story. But here is a nice thing you could do. You could actually, once you do the thumbnail, and let's say you have, yeah, and we talk about the gallery, by the way, right? You could delete and download here. This is a nice button. Once you set up the background once, you don't need to repeat the same thing because most likely for many customers, they just want full image for this and they want full image for the main ones, right? Sometimes some customer may want like a white background. What's the logic behind white background for white for thumbnail? Is that these thumbnails show in their SRP page, in their SERP page, right? So having just a simple white background will simplify their website look, which at the end of the day make it more like nicer, luxurious. It's a small thumbnail, like you have headers, footers, like you hardly will see anything. So that would be an option that some people may want to exercise. That's my personal sort of favorite is to have a full white for thumbnail. But then many dealers, especially independent car dealers, like may not like that. So the option of full image there. But obviously for the main floors, you want the full image almost 99.9% of the time. And you want to keep this, but here's a nice thing. You could just do match thumbnails. It's going to exactly match whatever you did up there, so you don't have to repeat it. Whether you did through app capture or you copy from center, you did that, you just click this, boom, it's going to just copy that for you. So technically for somebody that wants the same thing for the thumbnail, you just upload it here and then you say match thumbnail here. And then for this spin is kind of the same thing. You could actually match it. So this is how it's going to work. So for the spin, you could also say like match main floor. So match main floor means it's gonna, whatever you did up here, it's gonna actually match it down here. Or you could upload an image if you want something completely different for your spins, but most of the time you wanna match it. The main floor, which is gonna actually copy this from here, just sample, just do the sample you have, right? So you could just adjust it, adjust the height, right? We said you don't want any curves or anything come out of this. So you kind of put this here. I want to make the height a little bit bigger, and this is good to go, right? You have the floor, you have the wall, you have the ceiling, because this is almost a one-story dealership. And here you could choose the floor, right? This we've covered it probably in other videos, so I'm not going to cover that, but let's do it very quickly. So you have different floors. In general, you want something darker and something that kind of matches whatever the floor is, or both. So in this one is dark in this, and this is a very good standard. And then you also have edges. So the edges, you have the extra large ring. This one is my personal favorite, but the ring also for the ones that they want like a seamless edge going around, you choose that. So you could choose from gallery, choose the edge. Here shows you preview. We have this, so you can see here as a default Glow 3D. You could click this and then it's gonna bring back to spin to this. So you could technically have something like this for the background and then just have like super simplified version for the spin. So this could be an outdoor, right? Exterior, like the ones we look at, exterior of actual dealerships for the main frames and potentially for thumbnail could be white, right? Because it is going to be just one photo and in their search page. So super simple. This one could be like all these from outdoor of the dealership, right? And then this could be this sort of photo studio because it is in a studio format, and it could be indoor. So, and you could do like with logo here, this one could be the exterior outdoor. So as you can see, you could do different combinations, and that's one of the advantage of advanced background. So the refined reflections, so this we already covered that, but it's important if it is a wall shadow, makes sense if you have indoor and it's kind of closer to this turntable thing and all of that. If it is not, you want to keep it as one. If it is a very light wall, if it is a dark wall, darker wall, you need more shadow to show. So you, in order to be visible, because it is a dark wall, right? It's a dark floor. You sort of maybe you need number two if it is a dark floor. If it is a very light floor, maybe number one, fluorescent woodwork. You get the logic. So if it is a lighter floor, you want a lighter floor reflection and light, and it is a lighter wall, you want a lighter wall shadow. If it is a darker, you want a heavier, right? If it's a darker, heavier wall, you want a darker, heavier wall shadow. So maybe number two is a good option. And then if it is a darker, heavier floor, you want a darker, heavier floor reflection. So that makes sense. And the interior window settings similar to the normal background. So interior window colors, you want to keep them white and remove the side view mirror, keep the side view mirror. The thing with the keeping the side view mirror, which I believe is our default, and you want to keep it probably this, is that it keeps the side view mirror. So if there's something inside side view mirror, like showing the, I don't know, outdoor back, it kind of will keep it and it makes it less realistic. So maybe remove side view mirror is an option that at least you need to know with your customers there, or keep it at remove side view mirror if the customer, oh, where's my mirror? What happened to my mirror? Just explaining to them that's a downside, right? If you put keep side view mirror, it will create that potential problem. And yeah, and that covers advanced background, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this. And this is one of those videos you could send it to your customers if like they're sort of, I guess, tech savvy, or they're the one that like to play around with different background. You tell them, hey, let me just send you this back like tutorial video and tells you how to play around with it and go from there. So if your customer watched this, thank you so much. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for the choosing our product. And with that said, you guys have a good day. Bye.